and welcome to my video where I'll show you how to make a diary comic. Before we get started, I'll just introduce myself. My name's Sarah and I make picture books and comics. Today I'm going to show you how to make a diary comic like this one. When you think of diaries, you probably think of something a bit like this. Today I ate breakfast, then I watched some TV, etc, etc. And basically this is boring to write and even more boring to read. So here's what you're going to do. Grab a notebook or just a sheet of paper will do, and thinking about the last 24 hours, list 5 things you did, 5 things you saw, 1 thing you heard someone say, and 1 thing that confused you. Here's one I made earlier. I've based this exercise on one created by the wonderful Linda Barry. If you don't know her work, then I highly recommend you check it out. She's one of the greats. When you're finished, have a read through your lists. Any one of these could be a really great story starter, but go with the one that jumps out most strongly for you. I was tempted to go with the nun getting into a shiny red jag, but decided to go with my cat story instead. What happens next is up to you. You can start with a fact like, yesterday I got coffee, and then from there you can make everything up. Or you can stick to the facts. It doesn't really matter. Either way, you're crafting a story. For the purposes of today's comic, I'm going to stick to the facts. Now we're going to make our comic. Grab a pencil and draw a square, then divide it in 4. Be as messy as you like. The idea is to do one of these every day, so you want to make them as quick and painless as possible. Next, I roughly draw out the words and images in each panel. I've already figured out what I want to say, so you might need to do a couple of rough drafts first to figure out your own story. My advice is to be spontaneous and don't overthink it. Next I ink over the pencil work. I use a dip pen which, as I'm sure you've noticed, can be messy, but I like the line variation it gives me. Lots of people use fine liners, and you can even stick with the pencil if you prefer. Just experiment with lots of different materials and don't be afraid to get messy. Now I'm rubbing out the line. I didn't wait long enough for the ink to fully dry and now it's smudging, but oh well, it adds to the charm. By the way, I usually use a light box to trace over the pencil work on a new page. It's much cleaner that way. And there we have it, our very own diary comic. If you do them regularly, diary comics help you to build up your storytelling skills because they get you to pay attention to your life and what's around you. You can keep them as practice pieces only that you never show to anyone else. Or maybe you'll turn some of them into longer stories. Or maybe you'll collect them all and turn them into your very own book of diary comics. Whatever you decide to do, have fun and start making a comic today.